being a good father or being a dad, I think it's one of the hardest thing in my life that I'm still doing it, so I'm not going to say that I've ever done, because I'm still doing it. But how shall I start? I think being a father for me started when I was a little boy. My dad left my mom when I was maybe 6 or 7, and it affected me in a way like, why? Why is that father always leave their wife and leave their children behind? And for many years I was, excuse my language, but I was pissed at my dad because he left. And so my experience as a father started that way, because I said to myself, you know what, when I get older, I'm going to take care of my children, I'm going to go to the park, I'm going to go to the playground, I'm going to buy ice cream, I'm going to buy candy, you know. So that's my first experience as a father, like what it is to be a father. So 2 years ago, I had twins. Raul and Marcel, 2 beautiful boys. I know they're handsome. Beautiful is for a woman, but they're so beautiful, you know. And I was sad and happy at the same time when they were born, because I thought I knew what I was going to do. And when they were in my hands, I was like stuck. Like, what should I do? You know, because you have this idea in your head that, hey, I'm going to be the best dad, I'm going to be awesome. Which I am, I think, but it's easy said than done. So my boys were born in Canada, and my wife said to me, you know what, this is not the right place for them. You know, they gotta experience how we grew up as children, because I grew up by the beach and my wife pretty much not pretty close to the beach. She grew up in Grenada. So we moved there and in 2016, and it was the hardest thing for me to do, because Canada is pretty much a safe country in the sense that, financially speaking, I can provide for my children really well. I'm not disrespecting Spain, but the opportunities are more in Canada. And I'm saying, okay, great, you're a father. You're going to give up your great job and you're going to move to Spain and not work, and you won't have any money. So I decided to move here, and the first year with my boys, I screamed a lot, not at them. I screamed at myself because I didn't know exactly what they wanted when they were crying. Well, they didn't cry, they screamed. They screamed. I didn't know what they wanted. And I was so mad at myself, like, I'm not doing a good job. I'm failing my children because I couldn't fix it. I'm a person that fixes things. You know what I mean? And I'm not able to fix my children problems because I don't know what they want. I'm like guessing, okay, do I need to change their diaper? Do I need to give them more food? Do I need to give them more love? And I realized that I was getting to be a little bit overwhelmed. It was so much that sometimes I didn't want to see my children. Not that I'm a bad parent, but it came to that point. And what I realized as a father, what I needed to do was to just sit back and enjoy the ride. The children are the ones in control, not the parents. So once I took that approach, everything just started to be better. And I realized they were the ones that were teaching me. What I'm trying to say is that instead of trying to fix like problems, trying to be this awesome person, I think the best thing that you could do as a parent is to just give love. Don't think about, okay, they're crying. Just think about, you know what, I'm just going to love them, I'm just going to hold them, because they're not going to cry for 24 hours. No way, it's impossible. Maybe 3, they've cried for 3 hours. So, right there and then, I realized, as I said, my boys were teaching me like how to be patient, how to give love instead of receiving anything back, because children are selfish. They're the most selfish human beings for a while. It's not permanent, it's just temporary, for like 3-4 years until they start understanding. So I with that approach, I started to treat my wife in that sense, because sometimes we will like attack each other. And I use that approach where instead of trying to like be right all the time with my wife, just give love. You know what I mean? And when you give, no, seriously, when you give, instead of trying to receive anything back, because my boys are not giving me anything back, but well, sometimes they give me a smile, you know, but they're not giving me anything back, because they're not giving me any feedback, like how am I doing as a dad, I'm hungry, blah, blah, blah. They're not. So my approach is that I give love unconditionally to like my wife without even thinking about it. It's like there was this movie where this person was blind, didn't know how the other person looked, and his love was so unconditional for her. So that's the approach I've been taking for the last 2 years, and I learned that from my children. And it's really cool, because I'm not going to say I'm a selfish person, but I always like getting stuff. You know, I always like getting stuff in terms of attention, not materialistic stuff. I like attention. Hey Greg, you look nice today. Hey Greg, I like your shoes. I like when my wife tells me that. Hey Greg, you look handsome. I feed for that. I feed on that. You know what I mean? So being a father is not just taking care of children. It's actually becoming a better person, not just for yourself, but for others. Because, as I said, the more you give, you definitely, as the Bible says, you will get back something. And what I've been receiving is peace of mind, because since that approach, my children, they're crying a little bit less. They're not that fussy. I'm not overwhelmed. I'm just cool like the breeze, you know, just easy going. Yeah, so another big thing that I did is that I started to miss my father, because I don't know my father very well. So I gave him a call in I think it was November, and I said, hey, you have grandkids? He said, I know. I spoke with my your mom. So it was saying that, you know what, I was hoping that he would have called, and I called him, and it was good hearing from my father. He was happy. So a father is not just, as I'm repeating myself again, it's not just for kids. It makes you a better person. You know what I mean? So yeah, thanks to my boys, speaking to my father, I think my relationship with my wife is getting better, it's growing. My boys are doing great. They're looking really handsome, really strong. They got a lot of love to give. Yeah, pretty much. I know I could go on and about this, but I don't want to speak so much, because it's a little bit emotional. And you know, they say Jamaicans shouldn't cry, so I don't want to. I don't want to cry, but yeah, I don't know what else I can say. I wrote down a lot of stuff, and I'm not able to articulate properly right now. But I came in and I like the do's and don'ts. Is it still there?
Yeah.
Yeah, the do's and don'ts. I would say. The way I would say it too is the highs and lows. That's another expression of being a father. Is let's start off with the don'ts, because that's the least. Yeah, I think it's the least. So don'ts is don't get overwhelmed, right? Listen to the mother more, because her instinct is actually not about fixing, it's about caring. My wife is awesome. She's just awesome. But listen to people around you, especially like grandma. Sometimes I got a little bit jealous. I got jealous. I'm not normally jealous, so that's my mother-in-law. I call her Abuela. She came by when the boys were 8 months, and when she was leaving, the boys started to cry. And when I used to leave the house before, and they never cried. Never. And I'm like, that's not right. So I said, okay, come back in, let's see. I think it's an accident. Came back in and they stopped. She left again. And they started to cry. So I would say, get people in. Don't push people away. Let people in. I didn't want to share my children, but I had to, even with my own mom. It's not because of my mother-in-law, because my mom, when they were born, she was in Canada with me, right? So, and I'm like, Mom, okay, give me the babies. I wanted to hold my boys, because they were like 2 kilos when they were born. They were little tiny, they were premature boys, you know? So that's one of the don'ts. Don't push people away, let them in. Another don't is, I would say, is ignore the noise in your head. Ignore it, because the noise saying, okay, I'm a superhero. You're not a superhero. Right? The superheroes are the 2 little ones, are the little ones sitting in front of you. They're the superhero. They're the star of the show, you know what I mean? And that's it for don'ts. But for do's, love unconditionally. Be the best you can be. Shine like the stars. Just be yourself. Don't try and be anyone else. Because if you try and be anyone else, as a parent, when you listen to like, oh, that's what Donna did, that's what Barbara did, that's what James did. You're taking in too many information. Just be yourself, because as a parent, I think it comes naturally over time. It may not be good the first day, but the second day, third day, fourth day, it gets better. Yeah.